to your presence. Namaste. We'd like to feel contentment, and Purna is the Sanskrit word for complete, entire, and full. And we have this feeling of contentment when we're completely satisfied, happy in our body and our mind. Happiness and contentment arise most easily when we balance our sense of self with our sense of community and others, and focus on the joys that relationships can bring. In some ways, to practice feeling contented may be just to write down 3 things that you appreciate about someone to share with them and enhance that relationship. Or perhaps your relationship with nature is something you wish to enhance, and you go out and you look at the clouds at sunset, or a beautiful flower, the alpine lily we spotted in the nature area, and just focus your attention on those minute details that are so fascinating. Or perhaps you're more of a auditory appreciation and like to listen just to the sounds of nature, the wind in the trees as the leaves rustle, or the birds singing. Or maybe you're near a stream and you can hear that flowing water over the rocks. But on the other hand, we tend to be in a very competitive society, and comparing ourselves with others all the time breeds either a sense of superiority or inferiority and disappointment or discontent. So everyone is unique in their own capabilities, their abilities, and their limitations. So there's no point in comparing, because these are unequal comparisons. You might do one type of poses very well, but comparing yourself to someone else in a particular pose, you may, be disappointed that you're not as flexible or you're not as strong. So don't get caught up in those comparisons, but just be grateful for whatever your body can offer you today. And we'll begin on this journey to contentment just by invoking a spirit of contentedness in our breathing, that we can inhale and increase that contentment and satisfaction and overall well-being within ourselves. And on the exhale, release any dissatisfaction or disappointment. Inhale for more pleasure, serenity, and fulfillment. Exhale, letting go of any envy or jealousy. Keep breathing, filling your sense with that peace of satisfaction and contentment. Purna, as I said, means that sense of completeness, wholeness. The mantra uses this word over and over again. That is complete. This is complete. Completeness, even try to take it away from wholeness, and you're still ending up with wholeness, completeness. Purnam ada, Purnam idam, Purnata Purnam udachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnam eva vaishate. Om. The mudra, mushti mudra, we fold the thumb inside the fingers and wrap the fingers around. This assists in breaking down the walls that accumulate when resentment builds in the psyche and body, and helps to transform any anger or resentment. Om Purnam. Now I'd like for us to start to move and flex and extend the spine. Pulling the navel in as you exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. And then lift the heart on the inhale, roll the shoulders back and down. Exhaling, curling in, and inhaling, opening and blossoming. Nice full breaths that use your complete lung capacity, squeezing out every drop of air on the exhale and expanding to your full inhale. That's good. Just breathing. And fold forward over the hips. Tiptoe the hands ahead of you. Then inhale, lift in the chest, broaden the shoulders, and exhale, surrender a little deeper over the hips, folding to your capacity. You can press down and away through the hands so that your sitting bones stay anchored to the mat. Each exhale, draw the navel up and in so you can lengthen the tailbone and stretch deeper. Then walk the hands over to the right side, fold over the right hip. Taking long, contented breaths to completely satisfy you on the inhale. And switch sides, walk hands over to the left. And bow over the left hip. Deep, satisfying breaths. And release up to a sitting position once more. And we'll come up to standing for a wide leg forward bend. So facing the long edge of the mat, take a wide stance. The outer edges of the feet parallel to the ends of the mat, and the knees soft here. Inhale, draw the lower back in, and exhale, pull the navel to the spine, slide hands down, maybe touching the earth with fingertips under the shoulders, bending the knees all that you wish, and even gliding the hips from side to side as you start to straighten one leg and then the other. And leave the left hand underneath the face And sweep the right arm out to the right side, open the chest, and draw the shoulder blade down and into the back. Bend the left knee if you wish to give yourself more mobility in the twist. And then bring right hand down and sweep the left arm up. Now you can bend the right knee if you wish. Give you a little more freedom to open the heart. Last breath there. And release. Bring the left hand back to the earth. And start to walk the fingertips away from you as though you're doing downward dog. Keep pressing the inner thighs back. Lean back in the hips. Keep weight in the heels of the feet. And as you claw with your fingertips, you can lift up in the armpits and get a little traction through the shoulders. Release any kinks, tension in the neck here. Loosen the neck up, a little movement. Great. And then come back down to the mat, kneeling. And let's go all the way flat on the mat in prone position on your stomach. Extend the arm out. Let's start with the left arm just because you can see that better. The left palm face down. The arm a 90-degree angle. And keep pressing the palm down. And then start to roll towards that side. Roll on to the left hip. And as you do that, bend the knees. Give yourself more stability. And just breathe into that shoulder stretch. Try not to let the neck just collapse, but keep the neck and spine in a straight line. An option for you here is to hold the top foot in a bow pose. It's a little early in the practice. Maybe you don't want to do that, so just do what comes naturally. And we'll switch sides when you're ready. Roll flat. And extend the right arm 90 degrees to the side. And the palms face down. And roll up and onto that right hip. Move things around. So I have rolling on to the right side. Feeling the stretch along the inner right shoulder. The knees bent, some for balance. We're taking it onto the half bow. Bind the left hand to the left ankle. And if your body's not ready to do that, just stay on your side. Breathing into the shoulders. Good. Enjoy another satisfying breath. And release that side. Coming back onto prone. And then for cobra pose, place the hands on either side of the chest. Point the toes back and press down through the tops of the feet. Press down through the fingertips and start to curl the shoulders up and draw the elbows back so the shoulder blades stay down. Maybe this cobra is a little dancing cobra. It has to sway a little. Slither. Nice back bend. Squeezing the buttocks, pressing the hips down into the mat. And then release onto your chest. Bend both knees. Reach back, holding the ankles in bow pose. Or if you don't reach the ankles, just keep the hands on the mat like you did in Cobra and curl up this way. Where you have the ankles and you're lifting up with the feet and with the chest. And slowly roll it down, release, and come to crocodile pose. Here with the forearms in front of you, stacking the forearms. We have enough leverage to press down on the elbows. And then let your forehead rest. Turn the toes outward to the width of the mat. Just let the contentment grow with each inhale. Exhale away any envy or jealousy. Inhale, Purna, fullness. Lacking nothing. You are complete in yourself. Pushing back up again. Let's come up to table pose. Knees hip width or wider, and the big toes touching together. We'll move back on the exhale into child's pose, pushing the palms forward, sending the hips and sitting bones back. Then on the inhale, rise back to the table position. Keep the fingertips clawing the mat, the inner arms hugging to the midline. And flow back and forth at your own pace, bowing on the exhale to child, and rising again on the inhale to table. Just moving gracefully at your own speed, finishing one breath totally before starting the next. So you can feel exactly where in your body the stretch is going, where the breath is going, and move the breath into any areas that are not enjoying it enough. The stagnation is occurring. Just circulate prana through those areas. By consciously bringing them into your awareness. Now, we're in table pose. Wide knees. Okay. We're going to widen the knees to your capacity. And sit back again onto the heels. So starting to open the hips a little more here. You can bow forward. Maybe the forehead touches. But we're still pressing the palms down, keeping the armpits lifting, the shoulders broad and spacious in the back of the neck. Now, turning this into a twist, thread the right arm underneath the left, and bring the right shoulder to the mat. And then hold hands clasping. And press down through that left palm to add to the twist. And now switch on to the right side. Lift the right shoulder up. Open the left arm. And thread the left arm under the right. Come onto that left shoulder. Clasp the hands together. And use that leverage to help open the shoulders more and deepen the stretch. Maybe you're feeling in that left thigh. When you're ready, inhale, lift it up. Good. Now bring the knees back to shoulder width apart, hip width apart. And keeping the hands or the forearms on the mat, bring the forehead down, lift the hips up. And as you lift the hips, you'll be stretching in the back of the neck. Rapid pose. You can pulse a little with the breath. Inhale, relaxing back, and exhaling, stretching forward. And inhaling, lift the head up. Come to Virasana, hero pose. Sitting on the heels if that's comfortable, or perhaps you need to put a blanket across the calves to give your hips a little more height, a little more ease there. Or maybe you have tons of flexibility. You can sit between the heels or even recline. Okay, with taking your practice to whatever level gives you satisfaction. Reclining hero, Supta Virasana. Extending the knees forward and down, keeping the ankles nice and strong with active toes, flexing the toenails down. Drawing the lower ribs down and in. Getting that beautiful stretch in the quadriceps, hip flexors that get really tense and tight as you do a lot of sitting. Lifting up, come out of the pose somehow. That's the hard part. And let's come into puppy dog pose here. So we'll come back to kneeling position. On Hatha Asana, we're going to walk the hands out. On Hatha chakra, the heart chakra, bowing down to the earth. And keeping the hips elevated above the knees and not trying to sit way back with the hips. Pressing down through the palms and finger pads so the armpits can rise. And the collarbone widen. And the back of the neck expand. And walking the hands back under the shoulders, lift up. And we'll start a lunge. Right foot through, step right foot to the front. Come to a low lunge. And walk the back knee towards the back of the mat, pressing down through the back toes, either curled under or the toenails. So working with the back leg, drawing it down and under, while at the same time pressing the front heel down and back, drawing the legs under you like a strong pair of pliers gripping the nut. You're going to wrench yourself right into the mat. And continue that muscular energy in the core of the pelvis to steady you so that you can lift your arms and breathe. Nice contented breaths, satisfying you on the inhalation, letting go of any jealousy, ego on the exhalation. Letting your body pulse with the breath in its own effortless way. And then bring the hands down. And we'll do a twist, revolve to the right. Keep the left fingertips down. Draw the right elbow up. And then open the right arm, looking up to the hand. Try not to let the right knee fall out to the side, but keep hugging the right knee into the midline. Press down through the inner edge of the right foot. And lower the right hand down. And begin to straighten that front knee. Lift the right toes up. Keep pressing with the back heel, the right heel into the mat. So there's some flexion in the right knee. You're not hyperextending it. You're going to hug the quadricep muscle to the bone. So lifting that right kneecap up. Inhale, lift up, out, and over the hip. And on the exhale, start to straighten the knee or fold deeper over the right hip. Inhale, soften the knee, release any tension in the neck, and on the exhale, ease slowly into the stretch. Letting your body enjoy its comfortable capacity to stretch, its desire to stretch, its need to stretch. Satisfy that need in your body to really reach its full capacity, but not exceed it. So, release this side and we'll stay on this side where we're going to pivot the back foot over to the side edge of the mat. Bring the right arm inside the right knee. Now press the knee into the arm. That resistance is going to help you twist and open the left shoulder. Stack the left shoulder over the right and extend the left arm. Okay. So this is like a kneeling side angle pose. All right, release now, left hand down, and walk the right foot over to the left side of the mat. Coming into pigeon pose, the right knee down now on the mat. And if you can, lengthen back through the left leg, lower the hips. Inhale, use the buoyancy of the breath to lift you up. And exhale, maintain that spaciousness. Hold with the core strength in the navel center. And see if your body enjoys stretching deeper over the right hip. Pulse with the breath so there's no resistance to the pose. More of an embrace And rising up to finish, lift the shoulders and step the right foot back. Walk out the knees some. And then step the left foot forward. Lower the right knee down. Build the foundation of your pose, finding comfortable stretch in that right hip, and climb hands up to the left thigh. Roll the shoulders up and back. And as you exhale, draw the navel in, press down through the legs. Even the back leg is helping, is working. Sweep the arms up. And enjoy the breath as it satisfies you on the inhale. And release any cares, worries. Being content in the moment. No comparisons, no agenda. And release, bring the hands down, the right fingertips to the earth. Then lift the left elbow, draw the left elbow up first so the twist is coming from the core and the shoulders, and then the arm unfurls. The palm is still a little in front of the shoulders, as though you're pressing against a wall beside you. And you can hollow out that armpit, draw it back. And this will help integrate the shoulder blade onto the back of the rib cage. And the arm bone integrated into the shoulder socket. So we integrate the whole pose, connecting all the parts together. And release and bring the left hand down. And we'll start to stretch back through the left hip. Lift the left toes up. Now you may need to even move the left foot forward so that your hips don't sit too low behind you. Inhale, soften the left knee, lengthen the spine. And exhale, squeeze the kneecap and pull the navel up and in, folding gently, pulsing with your breath. Feeling the stretch grow gradually as you exhale. Realigning as you inhale with what feels good in your body. What does your body need to satisfy it? Long, satisfying breaths. Nourish the body. And soften the left knee. And pivot the right foot behind you to the side. You're going to bring the left arm inside the left foot, inside the left knee. And start to twist now to the right. Open the right arm. Stack the shoulders. And use that resistance of that left arm against the inner knee and the knee pressing against the arm to give you more leverage in opening the chest. Good. Another breath, opening, even the fingers spreading, and releasing the right hand down. Now walk that left foot over to the right side of the mat. Bend the left knee to the mat. Come into your pigeon pose. Maybe you can walk the right knee back, go a little deeper with the hips, but still maintain some springiness in the pelvis and the hips, that you're not just sinking and collapsing to the mat. But you find muscular energy can support and lift from the inner pelvic floor. Gradually grow up, lengthen the spine, And reach forward through the crown of the head. Enjoy the pulsation of your breath as it nourishes you on the inhale and releases any comparisons on the exhale, so that you're just fully present. You can expand in the back of the neck, in the back of the shoulders, and then deepen on the exhale with more muscular energy in the core of the pelvis, the inner thighs. Just letting the breath flow to every part of the body. For releasing the pose and lifting the shoulders up. Stepping the left foot back, runner stretch, walking out the knees, some there. And next, we're going to come through to seated. You can just do it from kneeling. Swing the legs in front. And I'll face you for a wide leg forward bend. So we're first spreading the legs to a wide angle. You can press the fingertips behind you and lift the front of the shoulders up so there's no collapsing in the chest. Now activate the muscles in the legs, squeeze the kneecaps. So the quads are very strong, the ankles are flexed, so the shin peroneal muscles are activated too. Inhale, grow tall, and exhale, hinge forward over the hips. Keep pulling the thigh bones up into the hip sockets with that muscular energy in the quadriceps. Lifting the kneecaps. Come forward a little more with each exhale. Over a series of breaths, you may find your elbows will reach the mat, or even deeper, your nose reach the mat. You don't have to compare yourself to me. Just listen to your body's needs and desires and satisfy your own inner agenda there. Inhale, lift the back up. Good. And leave the left leg extended wide, but then bend the right knee and bring the right foot over to the left thigh. So we have a revolved pose, so a twist and a side bend. So bring the left hand across to the right knee and lift the right arm up. Keep pressing down through the right hip and sitting bone. The rib cage will start to bow out to the right side. And then you gradually stretch across the left hip. Keeping that right shoulder back, the right armpit hollow. And integrating that whole arm and shoulder into the back. Another nice contented breath there. And then release and bring the right arm down again. And simply switch the legs, opening the right leg wide, bend the left knee. So left foot is against the inner right thigh. Now, hold that foundation with strong muscles in the legs, hips, and pelvis. And cross the right hand to the left knee. Extend the left arm up. Okay, so don't fall over to the right side, and then that left sitting bone will just lift up. We need to root down through that left sitting bone, pulling navel to spine, and then expand and breathe into the left side of the rib cage. See if that left lung can expand and billow out to the side. Fill the pose with delicious, full, complete breaths. Purna. Purnam idam. Purnam. Adichyate. And finally, lower the left hand, release that side. And let's come just to seated forward bend. So feet about hip distance apart and moving the flesh away from the sitting bones. I'm going to rest on the front of the sitting bones and keep the lower back drawing in. And you may find that if you sit on the edge of a blanket, that'll give your sacrum that forward tilt that you need to maintain a good posture. And then the knees can be a little bent to start and give you a little more freedom of movement. And over time you can press the backs of the knees down to the mat, work more in the shins, spreading the toes, and just bowing contentedly over the hips. Paschimottanasana. Inhale to the back of the shoulders, the back of the neck broadens. And on the exhale, pulling navel to spine, extend forward with the crown of the head. Trying not to collapse in the throat or the chest, or pinch in the back of the neck by trying to look forward. Keep the neck neutral as though it was just an extension of the spine. And pulse a little with each breath. Rise an inch with the inhale and flow an inch deeper on the exhale until your body feels really satisfied that it's getting the stretch that it needs, that it wants. And breathe into every part of the body, nourishing every cell in your entire body on the inhale. And inhale, lift up halfway. And keep this half forward bend. You're maybe holding around the backs of the calves so that you can apply bandhas, the root bandha, mula bandha. As you exhale, begin to tighten the pelvic floor. And on the inhale, relax. Each exhale, begin that gripping in the pelvic floor. And on the inhale, relax and soften. And the second bandha, Uddiyana bandha, is at the navel. As you exhale, applying root bandha, Mula bandha, also engage navel bandha, the Uddiyana, where the navel draws in, lifts up under the rib cage, As you exhale, finish the exhalation, just suspend the breath for a moment, creating that vacuum like a greyhound belly up under the rib cage. And then relax the bandhas on the inhale, soften the belly, soften the pelvic floor. Try that a few times using 2 bandhas. Suspending the breath briefly at the top of the at the end of the exhalation. And then lastly, the Jalandhara bandha at the throat, where you draw the sides of the neck back, tightening the throat as you exhale. And then relaxing all the bandhas as you inhale. Applying all 3 bandhas simultaneously is called Maha Bandha, the great seal. And begin to release up to straight back, and we'll recline on the spine, lifting the knees up. Now simply working with Mula Bandha at the root center. On the exhalation, tighten the pelvic floor. And then on the inhalation, relax and let the buttocks soften, spread. Exhale, tighten. And inhale, relax. Now we're lifting into bridge pose. So inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower down. You may have to keep moving the heels up closer if your shoulders slide back. Pulse up and down with your breath. And one more time. Finish with buttocks on the floor. Hug knees into the chest. Squeezing as you exhale, and then loosening as you inhale. Longer arms. Exhale. Using full lung capacity, satisfying every nook and cranny of your whole body. And then just observing whatever your body needs. Maybe is to widen the knees, to rock from side to side. Just listening, improvising this movement based on what would satisfy your body most. As we begin to relax, wind down, and rest towards Shavasana. So just finishing this final sequence so that your body is ready to let go. When you are ready to rest on your back and find Shavasana, corpse pose, by widening the feet to the width of the mat and opening the palms face up, giving your shoulders plenty of space, the neck long and straight. Maybe you need to inch the heels away, lengthen through the lower back, Maybe have one more stretch in the palms and fingers. Get rid of any of that nervous energy so that you can start to really rest more deeply. Enjoy that satisfying breath as it nourishes you on the inhalation and releases any cares, worries on the exhale. And you can be fully present in this moment without comparisons or agendas to perform a certain way. You're welcome to enjoy this relaxation and really feel the pure contentment of having stretched your body in every way possible and fulfilled its desire for that movement, that flexibility. And you can rest in that contentment now, satisfied, complete, and whole, knowing you've done something good for yourself. And your body deserves this time of rest, allowing all the muscles in the body just to become loose, limp. And the arms relaxing, become heavier. And the legs relaxing more, becoming heavier. And the neck and shoulders relaxing more, and the head becoming heavier. Imagining, if you can, that you are in the most comfortable bed in the world, soft as a cloud, and you were just sinking into that cloud. So comfortable, so happy, so content. No cares or worries, no responsibilities. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing at this moment, which is resting. Letting every muscle in your body rest, relax, and let go. Even letting your busy thinking mind relax, because there's no need for analysis, comparisons, any of that. You can rest in your peace and calm, tranquility and ease now. Satisfied that you're exactly where you need to be. Content that you've done everything you need to do. You're complete. Purnam. Purnam eda. Purnam idam. Purnata Purnam udachyate. Purnasya Purnamandaya. Purnam ivavishyate. Om. Some quotes about contentment. The Buddha said, "Health is the greatest gift. Contentment is the greatest wealth. A trusted friend is the best relative. Nirvana is the greatest bliss." And Socrates said, "Contentment is natural wealth." William Shakespeare said, "My crown is in my heart, not on my head, not decked with diamonds or Indian stones, nor to be seen. My crown is called content. A crown it is that kings seldom enjoy." Ben Zoma questioned, "Who is rich? Those who are happy with their portion." Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Now begin to deepen your breath and start to stretch and move your body. Begin to reanimate the muscles so that you can roll over to your right side. Bending the knees in that fetal position. Recollect in your body what it feels like to have this full contentment, satisfaction, the Purna of wholeness and completeness within yourself. And then press up to easy seated pose. I bow to the wholeness and contentment in each of you. Namaste.